Good evening and welcome to the Mega News at 6 right here on MBN TV. We are coming to you live from our studios here at the 10th Avenue Greater Estate. My name is Farana Ayele Ayi, and don't forget we are streaming live on our social media platforms on YouTube and Facebook at MBN 360. Coming up in the major headlines.
Mahama Care does not cover overseas treatment, Obovia clarifies. In business, CD slips marginally despite stable expectation. Dollar trades at 11 Ghana cedis 90 pesos on forex markets. On the international front, fishermen fear dead after Chad airstrike target Boko Haram.
Now, in our first story, President John Dramani Mahama has officially launched a 1,000-unit green housing project aimed at expanding affordable and sustainable housing delivery for Ghanaians, particularly public sector workers.
The project is spearheaded under the administration of John Dramani Mahama, forms part of a broader housing agenda focused on reducing the country's housing deficit. The initiative, known as the Green City Housing Project, will deliver 1,000 residential units built with a focus on modern, eco-friendly and cost-efficient designs. Government officials says the project is intended to improve access to decent housing whilst promoting sustainable urban development practices, including energy efficiency and improved infrastructure planning. The housing units are expected to benefit middle and low-income earners, with priority given to public sector workers such as teachers, nurses, and security personnel. The project is also expected to create jobs during the construction phase and stimulate activities in the local building materials and real estate sectors. Authorities say the green housing project will be rolled out in phases, with the first set of units expected to be completed within the scheduled construction timelines. The launch adds to the ongoing government efforts to address Ghana's housing challenges through large-scale infrastructure and social development projects.
Ghana's housing challenge has become more pronounced and demands clarity of purpose and decisive action to resolve. Our national housing deficit is now estimated at over 1.5 million units. This reflects years of supply failing supply short of demand. Rising land values, escalating construction costs, and limited access to long-term financing have placed ownership beyond the reach of many Ghanaians. The result is clear. Informal settlements continue to expand, slums, and too many of our people are living in substandard conditions. This pressure is intensified by the rapid urbanization currently taking place in our country. Today, more than half of the population of Ghana lives in urban areas, and projections indicate that this could rise to about 70% of our population living in urban areas by the year 2050. Cities such as Accra, Kumasi, and Takoradi will continue to grow rapidly and will be swamped by the migration from other parts of the country. If we do not therefore act urgently and at scale, tomorrow's housing crisis will far exceed what we're experiencing today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, government's reset agenda is not just a slogan. It is a commitment to rethink how we deliver housing, infrastructure, and opportunity for our people. At the heart of this vision is a simple yet powerful belief that decent housing is not a privilege for a few, but it is a right for all our people. Access to housing improves public health. It strengthens educational outcomes. It boosts productivity and stabilizes communities. A nation that is seeking development must house its people with dignity. We're therefore implementing a comprehensive housing agenda that addresses supply, improves affordability, strengthens tenant protection, and reforms housing finance to reflect the reality of Ghanaian incomes. Progress is already underway. The Saglemi Affordable Housing Project, which was begun in the previous term of the NDC, is being prioritized for completion. New social housing initiatives driven at the district level are also being rolled out to reduce financial barriers to ownership.
Now, the Maranatha Power Ministries International has climaxed its Women's Week celebration with a special Mother's Day event honoring women and mothers for their vital role in society.
The event brought together scores of women in a colorful celebration filled with praise, reflection, and empowerment. The program forms part of activities to recognize the strength, resilience, and impact of women in both the church and the national development. The Minister for Gender, Children, and Social Protection, Dr. Na Momolate, graced the occasion and shared a message of encouragement with the women.
Women have the reproductive role. You think God didn't know what we are capable of, that He created us such that for generations to continue, He has to choose women to carry the next generation 9 months before delivering.
Amen. Na se nyame enti mupono ebewie peyono eno nti na opao emma eno odi ade fefefe sie memo se na ebeye awonto asono eno nso betena da.
So once you are born a woman, once you are born female, once you are born a girl, know that it is a man plus more.
Amen. Say ya wo se akwala a wo yoba ana obebuno ana se obemu a ewo nioma unim se nyame de fa wo mu ediaba.
So you realize that women think intergenerationally.
Enti emma ni omaye no eya wonto aso ade.
I was also sharing that being the Minister for Gender, who takes care of men, women, children, orphans, widows, widowers, persons with disabilities, and all vulnerable groups, I can tell you, before a woman will say, I'm packing my bag and luggage and leaving this marriage, they consider the impact of it on the children. And so you will hear most often people saying, it's because of the children, that is why I am still in the abusive relationship. We don't just think. We think of the next generation. We think of the impact. Amen. So we are builders of generations.
Amen.
She also presented gifts to mothers, acknowledging their sacrifices and contribution to society. The celebration ended with prayers and appreciation for mothers as participants expressed gratitude for the opportunity to be recognized and uplifted. Organizers say the Women's Week celebration will continue to serve as a platform to empower and inspire women across the generations.
Amen. Now, the government says that Mama Care program does not include funding for overseas medical treatment as officials move to clarify public expectations about the scope of the initiative.
Government has clarified that the Mahama Care program will not cover medical treatment outside Ghana. The clarification was provided by Obobia Dako Opoku, who explained that the initiative is designed to support healthcare delivery within the country, not abroad. According to her, the program is focused on strengthening local healthcare systems and ensuring that more Ghanaians can access quality medical care without need to travel outside the country. The clarification comes amidst growing public interest in the program, with many seeking to understand its coverage and benefit. Authorities are urging the public to take note of the program's scope as government continued efforts to improve healthcare delivery nationwide.
And then there's something that we keep getting. Many people want funding to go to India, to go to abroad to get treatments. Let me announce here and now, we do not support any funding out of the borders of this country. So if you see many people tagging us on Facebook and all other networks and asking us to support a patient who wants to take a trip to India to get further treatment. Please count the Ghana Medical Trust Fund out, because that money that we spend on one patient to go to India for a treatment, we can use that for about 20 patients in country.
Moving on, President John Dramani Mahama has signed the Legal Education Reform Bill, paving the way for significant changes to the Ghana's legal training system.
President John Dramani Mahama has officially signed a legal education reform bill aimed at restructuring legal training and improving access to legal education in Ghana. The reform is expected to address long-standing concerns about entry barriers, capacity limitation, and transparency in legal education and admission process. The bill introduces measures to expand opportunities for qualified law graduates while strengthening standards within the legal training institution. It is also expected to review admission processes into professional law program, which has been a subject of public debate over the year. Stakeholders in the legal sector have long called for reforms to improve fairness and increase the number of trained legal professionals in the country. The development is expected to spark further national discussion on access, standards, and the future of legal education in Ghana.
Regulate legal education and ensure the highest standards in terms of legal education, but also to open up the space, for more opportunity for legal education in Ghana. This particular act has been one that many aspiring lawyers have been looking up to, so it's been signed.
President John Dramani Mahama has signed the Value for Money Office Bill into law, establishing a new mechanism to strengthen oversight of public procurement and curb inflated government contracts.
The President, John Dramani Mahama, has assented to the Value for Money Office Bill, officially making it a law as part of efforts to improve accountability in public spending. The new law establishes a dedicated framework to review and scrutinize government contracts to ensure they reflect their fair market value and prevent cost inflation in public procurement. The Value for Money Office is expected to work alongside existing accountability institutions to assess major government projects and ensure efficient use of public funds. Officials say the initiative is aimed at reducing waste, improving transparency, and restoring public confidence in government spending. The law comes amidst long-standing concerns over inflated contract costs, inefficiencies in public procurement processes. Analysts say the success of the policy will depend on strong enforcement, institutional independence, and cooperation across government agencies. The development is expected to form part of a broader reforms aimed at strengthening fiscal discipline and improving public sector efficiency.
Also, government has begun distributing 8,500 laptops to training centers under the 1 Million Coders initiative, aimed at boosting digital skills development among young people across the country.
Government has distributed 8,500 laptops to various training centers under the 1 Million Coders program. As part of efforts to equip young people with digital and coding skills, the initiative is designed to strengthen Ghana's digital economy by training new generation of software developers, data analysts, and tech entrepreneurs. Officials say the laptops will support practical hands-on training at designated centers, enabling participants to gain experience in coding, software development, and other digital competencies. The program forms part of a broader national strategy to reduce unemployment and position Ghana as a competitive player in the global technology space. The 1 Million Coders initiative is expected to scale up training opportunities across the country, with thousands of young people set to benefit in the coming phases. Government says the program will continue to expand as part of efforts to drive digital transformation and youth empowerment.
Now we are going to go for a quick break. When we come back, the business news continues.
Jasunie from me a jahima Sawuba MBN Jasua from 0245 88 2128 MBN Jasu come home na yendi eja at the right place.
Welcome back from that quick break. If you are now joining us, this is the Mega News at 6, and we are streaming live on our social media platforms on YouTube and Facebook at MBN360. Now moving on into the business news. The Ghana cedi has recorded marginal depreciation on the foreign exchange market, with $1 now selling at around 11 Ghana cedis 90 pesos. Forex bureaus, despite relatively stable market expectations.
The Ghana cedi has slipped slightly against the US dollars on the retail forex market, with exchange rates showing $1 trading at approximately 11 Ghana cedis 90 pesos at the Forex Bureau. Market watchers say the movement reflects mild pressure on the local currency, even though overall expectations remain relatively anchored. Analysts noted that the cedi's performance continues to be influenced by the demand for foreign exchange, import needs, and broader macroeconomic conditions. Despite the marginal depreciation, some financial observers say the currency has shown period of stability in recent trading sessions. The situation has renewed attention on the foreign exchange management and the sustainability of recent gains made by the local currency in earlier period. Market participants are expected to closely monitor development in the coming days as global and domestic factors continue to influence exchange rate movements.
A visiting team from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is expected to conclude its final program review in Ghana on May 15th, a key step in assessing the country's performance under the ongoing support arrangements.
A team from the International Monetary Fund (IMF) is currently in Ghana as part of its final program review, which is expected to be completed on May 15th. The review forms part of Ghana's ongoing engagement with the IMF under its economic support program aimed at stabilizing the macroeconomic environment and restoring fiscal discipline. The assessment will evaluate Ghana's progress on key targets, including revenue mobilization, expenditure management, debt sustainability, and structural reforms. The outcome of the review is expected to influence the next phase of the program implementation and potential disbursement decisions. The IMF's missions work comes at a time when Ghana continues efforts to strengthen economic recovery, stabilize inflation, and support growth. The final report is expected to be released after the completion of the mission's engagement with government and key economic stakeholders.
Now, in the world of sports, Ato Ado has been appointed by FIFA to serve as the technical study group for the upcoming FIFA World Cup, a move that highlights his growing influence in global football analysis and coaching development.
Bemlini Eyo, ye enichu moshishara momini, ye Pro East District, alo akuchongwe, ifele fang ake, toy balamoko kashi ehame fe, ni bangmele ame premix fuo jara.
FIFA has appointed Ghanaian coach Otu Ado to its technical study group for the upcoming FIFA World Cup. The group is responsible for analyzing matches, tactical trends, team performance, and technical development throughout the tournament. Otu Ado, a former Black Star coach and ex-Ghana international, will join a team of global football experts tasked with providing technical insight that shape post-tournament report and football development strategies. His appointment is seen as a major recognition of Ghana's growing presence in global football coaching and analysis circles. It also reflects FIFA's effort to include experienced former players and coaches in its technical evaluation structures. The technical study group plays a key role in reviewing tactical innovation, player performance, and trends that emerge during the tournament.
Now going into entertainment, Ghanaian rapper Medical has won the Best Hip Life Song Award at the 27th Telecel Ghana Music Awards with his hit single, Shoulder.
Ghanaian rapper Medical has been crowned the Best Hip Life Song winner at the 27th Telecel Ghana Music Awards with his popular track, Shoulder. The song, which gained massive airplay and strong public reception, earned him one of the 9 competitive awards in the Hip Life category. The award ceremony brought together top musician industry stakeholders and fans to celebrate excellence in Ghana's music industry. Medical wins add to his growing list of achievements in the Ghanaian music scene, where he remains one of the most influential voices in hip life and rap music. The 27th TGMA continued to highlight the growth and competitiveness of Ghana's music industry.
Now away from Ghana, several fishermen are feared dead following reported airstrikes carried out by the Chadian forces targeting Boko Haram, positioned near the Chadian Basin.
Fishermen are feared dead after reported airstrike by Chadian military forces targeted suspected Boko Haram positions around the Lake Chad Basin. The strike forms part of ongoing regional military operations against insurgent group, which has operated across Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon for years. Local reports suggest that some civilians, including fishermen who rely on the lake for their livelihood, may have been caught up in the operation. Authorities have not yet released an official casualty figure. An investigation into the incident are ongoing. Boko Haram has been responsible for years of violence in the region, prompting coordinated military responses from affected countries. The Lake Chad Basin remains a volatile area where military operations against insurgent groups continue alongside concerns over civilian safety.
This brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast. My name is Farana Ayele Ayi. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Mahama Care does not cover overseas treatment, Obovia clarifies. In business, cedi slips marginally despite stable expectation. Dollar trades at 11 Ghana cedis 90 pesos on forex markets. On the international front, fishermen feared dead after Chad airstrike target Boko Haram.
Thanks for watching the Mega News at 6 p.m. right here on MBN TV. Don't forget, we are streaming live on our social media platforms on YouTube and Facebook at MBN 360. I am Farah Ayi. Thank you for watching.